My people, how you doing? Welcome once again to our live session. Thank you so much for joining today's episode, and really do appreciate everyone for joining right now. So today we want to talk about yet another wonderful session. We want to talk about another wonderful topic related to Ontario immigration. If you want to come to Ontario, the province I am right now in Canada, then stick around because this in this session we are going to be talking about how you can move to Ontario, Canada through the permanent residency pathway. Now, there are a lot of pathways that Ontario have been doing right from time to actually bring people into the country of Canada. Likewise, we also have some pathways that they are going to be introducing, do you understand, come 2026. So today, we want to really talk about some of these pathways and how you can benefit as an immigrant, how you can benefit from the Ontario or from the province of Ontario. Now, remember that one of the provinces that actually selected me for immigration was Ontario, and that is why, of course, I am happily living in Ontario because a lot of people also want to come to Ontario. A lot of people also want to be where things are happening. You understand? The capital city and even the capital province of Canada, and that is Ontario. So especially those that come to Toronto, Ontario, one of the best places you can ever be in Canada. It's just the truth. So people can say, what do I mean? Ontario is not this, is not that. Well, for me, I am biased. I am biased with my resolve. I am biased with my own decision. You understand? Because any other place that is not like Ontario can never be like Ontario. It's not any other place that is not Ontario can never be like Ontario. So I'm biased, I know. You understand? But let's move on. And as we are moving on today, for those who are just joining, thank you so much for joining our live session. And don't forget that the Cyber Week offer, which is the Travel Small to Canada package, is still currently available. So you could go on our website, aosglobal.org. Once you go on that website, you can actually see and have the opportunity of getting some of your you understand processing started, whether it be for study permits, for work permit, for visitor visa, for asylum, for permanent residency. You know, many times that we partnered with Kesri Immigration and Settlement Services. So if you want them to actually work on your immigration, go on that website, aosglobal.org. Go fill the form. You understand? So once you fill the form that is there, the eligibility form, and they look through your field responses, they'll be able to actually talk to you, call you. You understand? They can call you on WhatsApp and discuss with you some of the intricate things you need to know about Canadian immigration. So, that being said, let's quickly move on. Let's dive into the topic for today because you have to note something. When it comes to immigration, immigration is a very crucial topic. It's a very crucial topic that you have to understand. It's a very crucial topic for those of you who want to come to Canada. You have to use to move to Canada easily. Do you understand? And that being said, we are going to actually be discussing some of these things through our live session today. Right, we're going to be discussing how you can also benefit from immigration. Don't let people be telling you about how they move to Canada. Don't just be online. You understand? Seeing people move to Canada and you not actually doing your own. This is the time right now for you to take action. This is the time right now for you to benefit from it, for you to actually have that advantage, that unfair advantage that other people are getting, you understand, elsewhere, for you to have the opportunity to also move to the country, you understand, and actually benefit from being in a country that actually values its citizens and values its residents. Now, you have to understand something. Um, Immigration is more competitive than ever. Yes, well, I'm not going to sweet coat it, I'm not going to sweet mouth it. It is more competitive than ever. But the beauty of it is, as competitive as it is, a lot of people are still doing it. Do you understand? As competitive as it is, a lot of people are still moving to Canada to it. So instead of you complaining that, oh, it is competitive, oh, it is this, oh, it is that, the question is, how can you benefit from it? How can you be part of those that would come into the country that will have the advantage of getting to stay back in the country, because it's two types of things we are talking about here. For you to come into the country is one thing, and for you to stay back in the country, for you to relocate, you understand? Because you have to understand something. When you are immigrating to a country, you are immigrating as someone that is to reside there, like a resident. But people come to these countries, they travel to these countries without actually immigrating. Some people think that they are immigrants, but the truth is, in the eyes of Canada, they are not immigrants already. Why, or what do I mean by that? Why do I say that? Is because when you are coming into the country as a student, you are not an immigrant, you are just a traveler coming to study. When you come into the country as a temporary foreign worker, you are just a worker with a contract of 1 to 2 years, and if it is extendable, fine, for another 1 to 2 years. But eventually, you are not a permanent resident yet. Do you understand? If you come into the country as a visitor, you have to notice that you are never, you understand, a permanent resident unless you switch your visa. You understand? It's unless you switch your visa from those kinds of routes, those kind of pathways, to something else, to something that is more permanent, then you are going to become a permanent resident. But if you don't switch, you will never become, no matter how long you stay in the country. And that's why we have series of people, like tons of people, that you see that they have been in the country, they have spent years, some people sometimes decades in the country, but they are illegal immigrants. Why are they illegal immigrants? It's because they don't have the rightful status to actually be in the country. And let me tell you the fact: if you come to a country like Canada, it's a police country. You understand? A police country in the sense that they are not going to pursue you before they catch you. They will not pursue you before. It's not like okay, what they call it, U.S., that they will be going to go and bust people inside their houses, going to go and, you understand? Canada does not really have that time. You understand? But they have made their system a way to benefit its lawful residents. Do you understand? They have made their system to benefit those that really have the status. So if you don't have the status, if you don't have what it takes to be in the country and you are in the country, firstly, you may not be able to actually get benefits from the government. Governments are not going to pay you because you are not a tax filer. You understand? You are not filing your taxes on a yearly basis. And some of you think it is only the government that benefits from taxes. No, even the individuals, families, you understand? Members of your families will also benefit from your taxes that you are paying to the government of Canada. You understand? There are some people that they even collect more from the government than they actually pay in taxes. Do you get? That's the number one. Number two, you may not be able to drive. And some people do not understand that sometimes driving in countries like this, it is not luxury, it is necessity. It is not luxury, it is what? It is necessity. Why am I saying that? Because, okay, look at it now. We're in the snowy period, we're in the winter season. And in the winter season, like, snow falls, of course, and the fact that snow falls, you would experience quite a lot of things, quite a lot of harsh weather. You understand? So if you want to move, you want to go from your own home to another home, you understand? You want to basically go get groceries, as little as that. You want to go and buy your food stuff. You want some little things that you want. Maybe if you have children that are with you, you want to take your children to school, you want to take them to the park, you understand, even but you want to take them to go play with snow and things like that. The snow is very, very cold. Do you understand? So you may need to actually have a car. You may need to, it may be one of the most important things to have. And if you don't have a car, do you understand? It may be so difficult for you to actually get around. It may be so difficult for you. And having a car in this country, you have to be a lawful city, a lawful resident, if not even a citizen already. You have to be a lawful resident. If you are not a lawful resident yet in the country, and you are just coming into the country and getting to live here without having that, you risk, you understand, being in the wrong, what do you call it, in the wrong look of the government, or in the wrong side of the government, because you cannot even drive. It's just the truth. You can, and if you drive without having it's not even possible legally. It's not. Let me just be frank with you. It's not possible legally to drive without being a lawful citizen or a lawful resident. You understand? A lawful person, whether an international student, a temporary foreign worker, you understand, or a visitor or a permanent resident. It is not. You understand? But let's assume that the person gets to drive a car legally. You understand? Even if they will never give such a person a driver's license, they will never help such a person with getting insurance. You understand? Car insurance or maybe bike insurance. They will not, you understand, that person will not have the car registration done in his name or her name. But let's assume that the person actually goes around all those things. It is very easy because cameras are everywhere. It is very easy to catch that kind of person. And once they catch that kind of person, even though being in a country illegally may not be considered more of a crime, you understand, but the fact that you are now driving without a regular status, without insurance, without everything, that is now a big crime, a serious crime, serious criminality in Canada. And because of that, that could be one yardstick together with the illegal status you have, they will use to deport you because you are an illegal resident, and to cap it all up, you're now driving illegally. Do you understand? So that is one of the reasons or one of the issues people could face when you are in a country illegally. So we don't like talking about illegal pathways to come to Canada because I myself I didn't do illegal things to come to Canada. So I cannot be advertising what I'm not, you understand, what I didn't do. What I did to come into Canada, which is the Ontario Provincial Nominee Program, is one of the things that I am talking about in this live session today. Why? Because it is one of the things I did. It is a legal route, and it is a route that a lot of, in fact, Ontario is one of the major provinces. Is one of the major provinces people flock into every year. People come in every month, not even here alone sef, every month they are always coming in. The President Toronto airport is always filled up. You understand? They always have people coming in, and as much as people are going out for vacation, going out because during this winter again, we have another set of Canadians, set of permanent residents that they are leaving the country. You understand? And once snow, once they see small snow like this, some people are living, okay, oh, you that are in Canada, you be facing it. Oh, us, we are citizens, or permanent residents, and to go do vacation this time. You understand? Some people are going to the Caribbean countries. You understand? They are going to do vacation in South American countries. They are going for vacation in even other states in the United States that are not very cold. You understand? Certain states of America that are not very cold, like North Carolina, like places like that. So people are going there for vacation. That okay, let me just go and chill there. Let me just stay there for like 2, 3. Well, it depends, because most of the Canadians, it is weeks they go for. So people don't have money to go for months. But we have some people, even citizens of the country that came from Asian countries. Do you understand? Like Pakistan, like Bangladesh, like in some places like that. There's one person in our community center here. Not even person. They are like seniors that have been in this country for 30, 40 years. You understand that once winter is already come, because again, you have to understand their their health their health doesn't like that cold weather. There are some people that when cold hits them like this, their bones will be aching. You understand? There, so sometimes it may be medically required for them to leave the country of Canada, go to where the temperature or the weather is a little bit warmer. You understand? And once winter is now going, or once summer is coming in, you understand, or spring is coming, they will now come back to the country. Right? So now, those are people that are legal. If you are not legal, you can't be coming in and going out anyhow. You understand? Those are for people that are really, really legal in the country. If you are not legal, in fact, if you go out of the country, man, that's why some people, you see, you hear them, they say they cannot leave Canada, they cannot leave US, they cannot leave UK. You will now be wondering, okay, what happened? It's not because they cannot leave, it's because they have been entrapped. They don't have the right status that allows them to come back into the country when they want. You understand? They don't have it. They don't. So that is why in this live session, we want to talk to you about how you can actually have the right status, how to what, how to come into the country, you understand, and stay in the country legally, how to come and stay in Canada what? In Canada legally. Because the truth about it is, if you are in a country where you are not a rightful citizen or a rightful immigrant, the truth is, most often than not, you are going to be exploited. Most often than not, you are going to be marginalized. Most often than not, you are not going to enjoy your stay that much like someone that is actually lawful, someone that is actually there with the right papers, someone that has the opportunity that you don't have, you understand, to be in the country, not just anyhow, but to be in the country like a rightful, you understand, immigrant, and someone that they are going to value, you understand, in the country, right? So that's the reason why we are discussing with you today. How can you stay back in a country legally? How can you have the advantage of being in a country that values you? And today we are going to be making use of the cicnews.com website. This is a website that I follow like back to back. You understand? I follow the website back to back when it comes to being in the country, when it comes to understanding how the how Canada basically how they value and how they actually work with immigrants to stay in their country. So today, as I said, the cicnews.com website, it's there's one of the articles that was written there, which centered on Ontario, the province of Ontario. Ontario proposes complete overhaul of provincial pathways to permanent what? To permanent residence. To permanent residence. So what they are saying is how Ontario is going to actually be closing some programs up and how they are going to be what be launching some new programs. So we have some new programs that are going to be launched, and we have some new programs that are going to be what that are going to be actually closed. And there are some that will be enhanced. There are some programs that are going to be enhanced. That is not only about um, programs they will close up. It's about programs that would be improved on. You understand? Because see, let me tell you something. When it comes to immigration, understand something that the government of the country and the government of the provinces in Canada, they look at the successes of previous programs. You understand how previous programs have been successful in bringing in immigrants from other countries. Now, if they see how it has been successful, they will now use the success of that first program to improve the other program. They will use the success of that program to actually better the lives of other people through the other programs that they actually have in stock for people, right? So today, this article we are going to be centering our discussion on is an article that I want us to pay very close attention to. You understand? I want us to play very important, like be very, very particular when you are trying to understand, you understand, these PR pathways, because these PR visa pathways are pathways that if you know what Ontario needs and you work towards getting ready for 2026, you are going to benefit a great deal. Not only you, your family members will also benefit a great deal, because I remember when I was coming into Canada, I didn't come alone. When I was coming into Canada, I didn't come alone. I came with my common law partner. Do you understand? I came with someone that right now we are living together, and we're married. But that time we weren't married. We came as common law partners to Canada. And when we came, what's your opinion, CP? Thank you for liking our live and following our live creator on TikTok. So when we wanted to come into Canada, we looked into the province of, you understand, Ontario, and we saw that Ontario were actively bringing people. You understand, whether you like it or not. See, you have to understand something. The province of Ontario is a province that a lot of people must come into. In fact, every week, sometimes every month, every day, sometimes people are rushing into the province because the Toronto Pearson Airport that we have here, lots of people are chunking it. Some people will even decide that, okay, yes, so I want to come to Canada. I'll go to maybe like Manitoba. But when they get into Ontario, they would love this ambience, they would love the scenery, and they'll say they are not leaving again. You understand? Triple O three. Thank you so much for gifting. You are my number one gifter badge. You have the number one gifter badge today. Thank you for your sticker. I see your awesome sticker that you sent. Thank you so much. So now, today, as I said, we want to discuss one of the ways Ontario, the province of Ontario, I said it when we started that Ontario was the province that actually selected me. Thank you. You are awesome. I see a lot of your stickers. Wow, 5 stickers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate triple O three. Now, when I was coming into Canada, I remember, let me just give you a little background about my story. You know, I wanted to come to the province of, oh, I wanted to come to Canada generally. The truth is, I was not when I was in Nigeria, just like many of you. When I was in Nigeria, I did not care about any province. You understand? It's someone that has it well, that is qualified for a lot of provinces. I'll be thinking that, okay, I did not care. I say, okay, let me just come into any province. So I started working on my immigration. You understand, right from Nigeria. I did my immigration myself, and that's why we always see it in some of these um, meetings and live sessions. If you want to work on your immigration yourself, you can also go on our website, as you can see it, aosglobal.org. Go on that website, and on that website, we have educated people extensively through some of our free resources how you can actually work on your immigration yourself. We have free visa guide. You understand? We also have free book your my ebook, which is currently selling. In fact, every month we have hundreds of people that actually download that book for free. So you can go on aosglobal.org website, and once you go on that website, you can go get free free Canada immigration resources. There are a lot of resources there for those who want to come into Canada through um express entry, or those who want to come into Canada as well through provincial nominee programs, because that's what we are going to be talking about today. We'll be talking about provincial nominee programs. You understand? Provincial nominee programs are one of the crucial ways. I didn't get selected through permanent residency, through what they call it now, through express entry. I didn't get selected through the normal pathways a lot of people actually get their permanent residency in Canada. I remember my cousin got his own permanent residency through express entry, but I got mine through provincial nominee programs, which is one of the things we are going to be discussing today, the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. That was the route I came through. You understand? That was the route I came through. But when we started working on our own immigration, do you understand? We focused on permanent residency. We didn't do study, we didn't do work, we didn't do visit visa. We focused on permanent residency, right? Now, when it came to permanent residency, you have to understand something, and that's one of the major things I do always talk about in our live sessions. That don't limit yourself. A lot of people know only express entry, but don't limit yourself, because there are some other programs unlike express entry that can still get you that permanent residency in Canada without you having to compete, because express entry is very, very competitive. Express entry is, if you are not the best of the best of the best. In fact, I can say that it is 1 to 2% of immigrants that come through express entry. Like, it is so competitive that it's not only about the statistics of those people that actually create profile. I remember when I started my own immigration, I wasn't even able to create profile. I wasn't able to create express entry profile. I wasn't able to be in the pool. But that does not mean I was not striving to actually be in the pool. I was not working towards being in the pool. I was. You understand? So there are some immigrants like that they are not even in the pool. So Ontario can never know. Canada can never know people that are not in the pool. It gives statistics on people that have created their profile and they are waiting for invitation to actually come into Canada through the permanent residency route. But I knew series of people that were working on it, and some people are still even working on it now. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it is 1 to 2% of people that come through express entry, and it is okay, it is fine. There are other immigration programs you can use to come into Canada. There are other immigration programs you can use to relocate you, and not only you and your family. If you have your spouse, just like I said, I had my own common law partner that we came into Canada together, you understand, as permanent resident too, but not through the express entry route. I also have people that came in alone. I also have people that came in with their, like Dr. Lawal, for instance, that I always make mention of. You understand, one of our clients that we worked with in Nigeria before coming at Ilorin Kwara State, Nigeria. He came in with his wife and with his two children. Do you understand? Like Onuba, what they call it, Adaba, rather, Adaba as well. Mr. Patrick also came in. You understand? With his wife and his three children. So you can come in with permanent residency pathways that are linked to provinces. You understand? That are linked to rural areas, that are linked. Okay, someone said this permanent resident of a thing will take me like how many months to relocate to Canada? Now, that's a very good question from Sahid. Now, Sahid, you have to understand something. Me, I always make mention of something when I have this opportunity. I said, good things sometimes, or most times, if it doesn't come easy. You understand? Permanent residency is the topmost benefit that immigrants can get before they become citizens. Do you understand? It's the topmost visa. If you are coming to study, you understand, it's relatively easy if you have the funds and you are qualified for it. You understand? If you are coming to visit, if you have the funds as well and you have a legit reason of touring the country, it's relatively easy, just like for the World Cup they want to do in Canada right now. If you are coming in as a temporary foreign worker, if you have the job offer, and of course you have things to back it up that you truly have that skill, it's relatively easy. But permanent residency is something that requires tactics, strategies. It's something that requires, you can be qualified. We have some people that are sitting there in the pool now. They can never sometimes get selected because sometimes it's not just being about the pool and doing the basic minimum. You understand? They will say, yes, for you to qualify to create an express entry profile, you need to have band 7 in IELTS, for example. But the hidden truth, which of course is not sometimes not easy, they tell you online, so they tell you on the Canadian immigration website, it's not hidden. But the thing people don't read, maybe I should put it that way, the thing people don't read more about immigration is that the minimums are just for you to create profiles. Most times cannot help you actually fully get invited. So sometimes for me particularly, my own case was an extreme case. It may not be that for you. My own extreme case, because again I was doing my immigration myself, so I made some errors, some mistakes. I didn't get some documents quickly. So it took me 5 years. You understand? From 2018, when I started my immigration, down to 2023. It took me 5 years to work on my own immigration. You understand? But some people are lucky. I had a friend when me I was starting to work on my immigration 2018. It was 2019 he left. It just took 1 year to actually work on his own on his own immigration, and he got it and he moved to Canada. You understand? We have some people like my cousin, you understand, when he said he wanted to start immigration. In fact, it's not that he said, he started immigration 2019. You understand? Is it 2019 or 2020? He didn't move until 2022. Yes, I think 2020, because it took him 2 years. You understand? Post COVID. You know that time when COVID was struck, it was hitting us. Post COVID, it took him 2 years before he got his own visa. You understand? So, but if you look at the immigration website will tell you that the processing time, the visa processing time for Canadian immigration through express entry or even through the provincial nominee program, it will tell you sometimes 5 months, sometimes it will tell you 6 months, sometimes for some programs it will tell you 7 months, but it's always within that range of 5 to 7 months for processing. But again, permanent residency, especially the one that they put on the website, the visa processing time, it doesn't cover how long it's going to take you to get the required documents. You understand? It just talks about when you finally submit an application. And most times, you can't submit an application directly for permanent residency as people do for visitor visa, as people do for study permit, as people, you can't do it that way. You have to first of all get invited for permanent residency. whether from the federal government of Canada or from the provincial government of Ontario, of Quebec, of Manitoba, you understand, and the rest of them. So those times that you also wait before you get invited, they don't calculate it. So that's why we calculate that, because it was from the process, it was how we had to wait for our own immigration to actually materialize. So basically, what we always say is that 6 months is the average. 6 months is the average for permanent residency. But again, we have some people that it can take up to 1 year, up to 2 years, up to three, like in my case, as I said, 5 years. So it depends. It varies based on the kinds of documents you have as at the time you want to get started, and how fast you can get the other documents that you can actually, or you don't have readily available. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, but me, I always tell people, it is not most times how fast, but how well. We have some people, sadly, I was watching TikTok one time, and some people are saying, Canada, there are no jobs in Canada. Some people are saying, oh, Canada, they are not giving them their postgraduate work permit is about to expire. Some people say there's no easy pathway to come to actually switch their visa from study visa to permanent resident. So if you look at it, some of these people that are online, some of them have spent 1 year, some people 2 years, 3 years in Canada. But imagine you now spend so that long time in Canada. But lastly, they now say you have to leave the country. Why do you have to leave the country? Because why? Because you don't have that status, that permanent status in Canada. I spent 5 years working on my immigration to Canada through permanent residency, through, you understand, provincial nominate programs. But it was far better for me, because when I came into the country, you understand, back then 2023, I knew that I don't need to worry about switching visas. I knew that I don't need to worry about what? About, oh, my visa wants to expire now. I need to start getting how to renew my visa. I knew I didn't have to worry. All I just have to do is stay in the country for 3 years. And even after that 3 years, I can seek citizenship. I can apply for citizenship for myself and my common law partner. Do you understand? And the beauty of it again is that, just like me, if you give birth in Canada as well, your child can become a citizen of Canada. Do you understand? Well, uh, now anybody can become a citizen of Canada once they are giving birth to Canada, giving birth in Canada. You understand? I remember one of my sisters, one of my aunties rather. You understand? From Lagos, Nigeria. She came into Canada. That was last year. She gave birth in Canada as a visitor. You understand? She gave birth in Canada, and that child became a citizen. You understand? Though she didn't become a citizen. So some people will always ask, "Can I have an anchor baby?" There's nothing like anchor, whether you have anchor baby or not. You will not become citizen. You will not get permanent resident by virtue of your child. But that is another issue now that they are talking about in the House of Commons. That why are they giving citizenship to the children that are being given birth to Canada in Canada, especially when their parents are not permanent residents already. So you have to note that things that are easy before, if you don't take action quickly, if you don't take action quickly, if you gawk it, you go and dull it may be that time that you will now finally land in Canada. You understand? The government of Canada will now say they are not giving citizenship to your child because, you understand, they will require you to actually get permanent residency. You understand? Or one of the parents of the child to become permanent resident before they can give, you understand, citizenship to your child. So what we are saying is, in essence, is make hay while the sun shines. Be fast with your processing. Don't wait or delay your immigration to Canada. So in essence, what we are trying to say is Canada will benefit you if you yourself actually take action. If you yourself, you understand, are proactive about your own your own immigration. You understand? Canada is waiting for people. Canada still wants people. I always make an analogy. Anytime I have the opportunity. I said the province of Ontario, for example, if I'm not wrong, the province of Ontario alone, I think it's like close to, if not bigger than Nigeria. You understand? Close to, or if not bigger than Nigeria. right? Now, the whole country of Canada, it is bigger than the United States. In fact, Canada is said to be the second largest country in the world. I hope you know what I'm driving at. So, and again, when it comes to Canada, you will see that the occupation of those that are residing in Canada is just about 40 million people on an average. You understand? Approximation 40 million people. But in a country like Nigeria, we have over 300 million people, and we have a very small country. You understand? But Canada has a very big country and it has a very small population. Do you understand? So what we are saying in essence is immigration is still necessary to fill in a lot of spaces that Canada still has. Canada still is not yet congested. Don't let them be whining you. A province like maybe the province of Ontario, or specifically the city of Toronto, because if you go away from the city of Toronto, or you go away from the greater Toronto area, which is the GTA area, if you go away from there and you go to the suburbs, you will still see a lot of a lot of space. In fact, I have I have driven a lot in Ontario, and I have seen that there are a lot of space, you understand, a lot of lands in Ontario. They have not finished. In fact, they have not. I don't think, if I look at it, I'll look at the statistics. I don't think they have built or developed half of the province. You understand? Half of the, I don't think they have developed it. So that's to tell you that the province would always need people. The province would always be requiring people to come into the country. You understand? To come into the province. Like, basically, we don't have enough of immigrants yet. You understand? No matter how you say it, yes, they may be limiting the amount of people that come into the country per time. They may be limiting the amount of people that come into the country yearly. But you have to understand that Canada still needs immigrants. There are a lot of places they are not developed. They need people to develop those areas. So this is still there's still opportunity for you to come into the province, if you, or to come into the country of Canada if you want to. Don't let anybody be whining you online that Canada are not picking people again. Canada, they are. When I was there was one time we were having this live as well, and I made mention of the amount of people that is, yes, they reduced how they are accepting immigrants, but the amount of people they said they will still accept this year is in the hundreds of thousands. So why would you that want to come into Canada, why will you not be part of those remaining hundreds of thousands they want to bring in? If you are proactive, if you work towards your immigration and you don't accept no for an answer, you understand? You don't get discouraged, you will finally get in. Do you understand? Yemosha, thank you so much for following our life creator. If you don't give up, we always tell people, some people say I'm 40 years plus, I'm 50 years plus. Can I still move to Canada? I say, see, no matter any age you tell me, Indians are coming in with that age. Chinese people are coming in with that age. In fact, Africans are coming in with that age that you have. In fact, we have had series of people, and we are even in our pipeline, people that our immigration consultants, Kesri Immigration and Settlement Services, that is currently working with. We have people that are 40 plus, we have people that are 50 plus, we have people that have gotten invited for permanent residency, we have people that are coming in as students to study in a province, we have people that are visiting the country. So literally, you have no excuse. Some people are seeking asylum. Some people are becoming refugee. You have no what? You have no excuse. Your age, it can be a major factor, but it is not a limitation to you coming to Canada. Yes, it can be a major factor that, yes, so because you lost points for your age for a particular program. Thank you, Adam, for liking our live session on TikTok. Because you lost points for your age, we always tell people there are other things you can use to get added points. There are other, because for immigration to Canada, for instance, through express entry, you can use some other things. Do you understand? You can use some other things to get those points that you have actually lost through your age factor. Do you understand? So it is never an excuse to say because you are 40 years of age, because you are 50 plus, because you are 60 plus, you cannot come to it. See, it depends on your drive. And that's why I say if you really want to be serious with your immigration, click on the link in our bio, the aosglobal.org website. Once you click on that website, you go directly to the Travel Small Small to Canada package. Fill the form. There's an eligibility form that is there. Fill the form. Once you fill the form and we see the form, our team members will look into your form that you fill and see the programs you are eligible for, whether be it for study, for work, for visit, for asylum, for permanent residency. Anyone they see that you qualify for, they are going to what? They are going to inform you about it, and you can be able to get started with your immigration through that. So don't let age be a limitation for you. A lot of people say are older than you. A lot of people say they will come into Canada older than you. You understand? But you are still complaining in your country that yes, your age is not. There are over 80 plus programs for immigration, especially for permanent residency to Canada. So if one program does not help you, if you are not eligible for one program, you can be eligible for the other programs. You understand? So if you want to learn exactly the programs that you are qualified for, as I said, click on the link in our bio. You'll see aosglobal.org website. You'll see the Travel Small Small to Canada package there. Fill the form. Once you fill it, make sure you complete the form. Click on the checkout when you are done with the form so that you put your name, email, and phone number, and from there we'll be able to, you understand, reach out across to you for your what for your travel plans to Canada. 3003, thank you for liking our live session. So let's move on. Today, mind you, we said we are going to talk on the article Ontario proposes complete overhaul overhaul of provincial pathways. You understand? Provincial pathways to permanent residency. Now, this is very important. I said this article was written by Ashesh Mosapeta. You understand? On CICnews.com website. This is one of the websites I hold very dear to me. This is one of the websites that, when it comes to immigration to Canada, is very, very important. Is very, very important. You actually what? You actually learn about this article. Now, let's move on. We said Ashish Musapeta wrote this article December 3rd, 2025, and the article says that Ontario, the province of Ontario, or the Ontario's provincial government, has proposed two-phased approach for introducing major changes, big changes to how it selects nominees for what? For permanent residency. So if you want to come into Canada as a permanent resident, you have to look into these changes, especially if you want to come into provinces like Ontario. Do you understand? Ontario is readily available. You understand? Readily available for you if you want to come into Canada through that pathway. They are readily inviting people, but you have to be part of those that they are actually looking for. You have to be part of those that will stand a better chance, you understand, of getting selected through those what through these pathways. Now, the Ontario's provincial government has proposed phases, two-phased approach for introducing major changes to how it selects nominees for permanent residency. And it said in the phase one, the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program (OINP) would consolidate its three employer job offer streams into single stream one single stream. And they said in the phase two of their changes, the OIMP, the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, it's going to eliminate all its what? Its other existing streams, and it will introduce three brand new streams. Now look at this very closely. In as much as Ontario is cancelling some pathways, it is also opening up some other pathways. In as much as Ontario wants to shut the doors for some programs, for example, Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program for French speakers. I came into Canada through Ontario, through the province of Ontario, and the program they used to select me was the French speaking worker stream, or this French speaker worker stream. Now, that route, we are going to learn about it, if it's also going to be scrapped or if it's going to be replaced, with another pathway. Yes, sir. But they are talking about the three streams that they are going to, the three brand new streams that Ontario are going to be using to pick immigrants. Number one, a priority. Now look at it. They said a priority healthcare stream. Priority healthcare. That means, see, if you want to come to Canada, if you want to be in the province of Ontario, healthcare may be one of the most important occupation you actually focus on, because they are literally telling us right now that they would invite people that want to come into the province of Ontario through what? Through the healthcare stream, right? Now, the second stream that they would be bringing up is the entrepreneur stream. Entrepreneur stream. Oh, sorry. Yawning. And just like the name implies, for the entrepreneur stream, the name of the stream is based on those that are in business, those that want to set up businesses. For instance, we assist people that want to set up businesses in Canada. I've said this time without number on some of our lives that if you want to come into Canada through a business, it's very possible. In fact, some of you already have businesses in your home country. You don't need to leave your business. You don't need to. Okay, Eniola Holori is saying hello here. Hi, how you doing? You don't need to say okay, because yes, we have some people like I, for instance, I started business in Nigeria. I was a businessman in Nigeria. I had my academy where I was teaching people in Nigeria. So when I came into Canada, it was, especially when people will be complaining that there's no job in Canada, there's no this. I said, see, don't be part of the problem. You understand? Because some people are part of the problem. Some people are looking for a job. You understand? Especially in roles or in industries that are not in demand. So it may be difficult for you to get. So, Ghana, I must tell you, there are a lot of problems in the country. Why don't you look into solving the problems? And Olori, thank you for liking our live session. Why don't you solve the problems? One of the ways you can solve the problems. Some people are saying there are no jobs in Canada. Can you provide jobs? Can you provide jobs? And most times, it's not really even employers that provide jobs. Some people think it's the employers that provide. No, it is those that patronize a business that provide jobs. Because if you set up a business and you are making money in that business and you need help in that business to actually service clients, it's going to be more or less natural for you to employ people. For example, in our own business, we employ those that are in Canada, we employ those that are outside of Canada. You understand? Though remotely, you understand, they do businesses, they work with us online. So it's not that I'm doing any job sponsorship. So I'm not doing any job sponsorship for anybody. Because at the end of the day, people don't even want it safe. So I'm not doing any job sponsorship. But we employ people, you understand, on a freelance basis, you understand, on a contract basis online. Do you understand? And many of these people, I have someone currently that we are currently working with for his immigration, and he started working with us. And because, in fact, imagine you are working with us, he's earning money on a monthly basis, and he's now using that his money that he's earning, part of it, he's using it to work on his immigration. How sweet can that be? Especially for people that are saying, I don't have money, I don't have money. You don't have money to work on immigration, but you want better life. You understand? And you don't want to work. You understand? You don't want to work from where you are. Some people are thinking, okay, let me come to Canada first. I'll come and work in Canada. You are not serious yet, Neil. You are not serious yet. They say you don't have money. You cannot start making money where you are so that you now use that money to work on your immigration. Abi, you go and tell airport. Abi, you tell flight. You go and tell him like Air Canada, or you understand? Or it's like, okay, please take me to Canada free first. When I come back and make money, I will come and pay your air flight, or I'll come and pay your airline later for helping me to come to. Sure, they will hear you. So people are asking for stupid things. They're asking for irrational things online. And that is why most of those people, when they say they now finally exploit them, they finally sell them. Like the case of one woman that told me that she since 7 years ago, it's not even a matter of today. Oh, since 7 years ago, she said she want to come to Canada. She met one travel agent online. That one said, no problem. She can help. Just you know what you want to come, abi. That one do passport for her, do everything for her. He said, okay, you should come. Say TJ baby, thank you for liking our live session on TikTok. You understand? He said, okay, no problem, she will come. The so-called job sponsorship she was hoping she will get, that one sha say, okay o, you first go to Egypt o. Once you go to Egypt, you now take connecting flight to Canada. And of course, I remember when we were coming to Canada, we took this Egypt Air. It was Egypt Air we used to come into Canada. You understand? So me too, I was in Cairo. I moved from, you understand, Cairo to Canada. But for this, for the case of this woman, you understand, the person that she met online that helped her to work on the so-called job sponsorship took the woman to Cairo for 7 years right now. Sadly, the woman, the connecting flight have not yet come. Connecting flight that will take the woman from Egypt to Canada have not yet come. And within the 7 years, she has been, you understand, she has been sold, she has been exploited, she has been raped, she has, it's sad sometimes when you hear some people's stories. But when you now ask them, okay, how much did you pay for this so-called thing? You say, I know it was just sponsorship. It's just sponsorship. Eh? So you yourself, you put yourself in harm's way. You understand? By looking for things that are sounding too good to be true. You understand? You now got to Egypt, you have been working, the agent is not even saying that you have not even finished paying the money he used to take you to Egypt. Imagine. Even some people that are coming to Canada, we have some cases of people that even landed in Canada, but were exploited in the farms they were working for, they were working in. Because, see, you have to know, slavery is real. Some people think it is 1919, but that slavery is real. There's contemporary slavery. There are like we have slaves in Canada, we have slaves in Ontario, we have slaves in UK, we have slaves in the US, we have slaves in all these big countries that you are going, especially when you not go sensibly, when you not go, don't know money, they will they will exploit you. There's work exploitation, they will rape you. There are some people that they are sex trafficking. Yes, there's human trafficking in Canada. Oh. I was hearing one news about people that they trafficking, and most times when you look at the victims of these atrocities, of these crimes, when you look at them, they are majorly people from West Africa, people from Asia, people that when you ask them their story, how did you get trafficked? You say, they met someone online that say you can help them do Canada. They don't need to pay anything. You don't need to pay anything. They will help you for Canada. And you too, you are so free. You are so, in fact, they're even telling you that no problem, you get good job. Yes, there are some people that they have told them that there's job waiting for them in Canada. It's when they come to Canada they did not see job. Instead they should see job, they now sold them to brothels. They sold them to all these ashawo house. Because you are looking for free things that look too good to be true. You understand? Listen, let's leave that. What I'm just trying to say is, instead of you putting yourself in harm way, Canada, the same Canada wey I dey na the same Canada wey slaves dey. The same Canada wey I dey is the same Canada where there are sex traffickers. The same Canada where I am are where there's one woman. This thing I'm talking about is not even thing of nowadays. There's one woman that said that since 1997, that is when she met someone that said, "Oh, bring her to Canada." For 3 months, she had to work. Shebi, you that you say you want to work, you go work overtire. For 3 months, she said she was working 18 hours, 20 hours per day, servicing male clients. For me, this woman was, I think she was from Philippines or is it Venezuela or something. It's not even only Nigerians. Don't think it's only Nigerians or Africans that they are selling or that they are exploiting. They are exploiting anybody that, see, if you see too good to be true offer, too good to be true that they will take you for, because I always think of it, even flight tickets, flight ticket is not small money. Flight lásán is not small money, it's tens of thousands sometimes of dollars. especially if you are a family that are big. You understand? So, like this woman, she said she worked 3 months. You say Jesus, she worked 3 months, 18 hours, 20 hours, servicing male clients. Because of that, she started an NGO 2001 when she was later able to free herself from the exploiters, from being able to kill. But the idea is, I was telling someone, I said, see, for those amount of times she worked, for those that amount of time, she have her body has counted. You understand? She has had body count, of course. She has had diseases. She had infection. You understand? She had to battle. So sometimes the issues or the aftermath of that thing is not what some people are looking for. It's not what we say. Okay, people should come for travel small small to Canada package. They say, I thought it was free. It's free to come to Canada. Abi us we go and knock we go and knock the door of airlines and tell them, okay, our clients say when you come to Canada and start working. You understand? It will pay you small small. It will pay you small small. So let him enter your plane for free to come to Canada. Let him enter your plane because the plane it was free them to they went to go and buy their planes. It was free. They went to Nigeria. They didn't buy fuel to go to Nigeria. They didn't buy fuel to come. You understand? Imagine. So many of the cases when I was watching about some of these cases on Al Jazeera, on CBC Marketplace, on some of these cases, when they were asking them, how were you transported? How were you trafficked? How were you exploited? They say, they just saw ad online. And the ad online say, okay, you want to do just sponsorship, free job, you don't need to pay anything. You understand? You don't need to pay anything. And they say, omo, they need job now. Okay. Even men, it's not only women. Some people think it's only women. Even men, they are trafficking women too. They are trafficking men too for jobs. You go and work in factory, work, and you not collect money. Oh. So it's those travel agents that are even opening bank accounts in the name of the immigrants. They are the one holding the ATM. So when the company pay, because you have said it, shebi it is you that signed to it. Because many of them they say they sign. You have signed to it that okay, when you come to Canada, you will be working. Some of them it's not that they signed that all the money will be collected from them. No, they didn't sign that all the money will be collected. They signed that okay, you take some part and we take some part. But there's another clause they didn't read under where I said that okay, before you take some part of the thing, you have to work for some amount of years first and pay everything in full to the travel agent. You understand? So people are fall victim a lot because you are signing something you don't have your lawyer involved. You are signing something it was not a lawyer you even signed with. It's not a licensed immigration consultant that you are just signing it with anybody. Because of that, some people years, months they have spent in captivity. You understand? They cannot go and tell visa officer or go and tell anybody because even their passports, they have collect their passport. Anybody that you are working with, I say you have to collect your passport. See, my people, be careful of it. Be careful of that kind of person. If someone say no, he cannot work with you until you give him your passport, that is your lifeline. And once you have given it out, your life it have they have had your life like this. They have had it with them like this. Why will you give your passport to someone? Why? For what reason? On top wetin? They want to do visa, you dey collect passport. Ah, you go grow metu o. You go hear when. Okay, David said that's Middle East mentality before. It's Middle East. Yes, it was Middle East that people will go to Qatar. They will go to they are doing it in Canada. It's not only Middle East, not America. The US, these things I see it on BBC, I see it on CBC Marketplace, I see it on Al Jazeera. How they are exploiting our African brothers and sisters, exploiting Asians too. The woman that was talking, Philippine, you understand? When we looked at the woman, the woman, she has started an NGO. She's now educating people about, you understand, all those too good to be true offer. Some people are looking for too good to be true. That some people will reach out to me say, "Brother, I don't have money. I thought it's free. It's free. When I use come Canada, the 6.7 million naira I spend on my own immigration are free. They go traffic you. They go sex exploit you. It's happening in Canada. It's happening every day. Do you know that there was, is it last year or so, that I heard that they said it was 1,200 reports of human trafficking that the Agency for Human Traffic Prevention of Human Trafficking that they received. And he said, this is just a number of the people that, you understand, that reported the cases. He said thousands of people have not even reported the cases because they don't have mouth. They have been scared to even talk out. They have been scared to talk out. They cannot say it because you understand. Some of these traffickers, it's not that they will just come here and traffic you, and they will seize your passport, they will seize your identity. You will not be able to call your people at home. There are some people that they were doing interview for that they said that their family don't even know where they are again. You understand? In Canada here, oh, it's not Middle East oh. Okay, Amoli baby say, please, how is Canada trip? David says, please, bro, can you guide me through? Please, if you want us to guide you through, we will not give you collect passport from you, but we'll tell you to go through the regular route. Sorry about that. Something sounded. We'll tell you to go through the legal route. And the legal route, if you are not ready to pay for the legal route, don't contact us. You understand? Because we are not willing to traffic anybody. We are working with those people that have their monies to work on their immigration themselves. So that when they come to the country, you sef you can be doing video. Some of these people, they say they don't even allow them to hold phone. Imagine, in 21st century. They are trafficking people, selling people to slavery. In Canada, it's not here as well. In Canada. So if you want us to guide you, go through our link. See this aosglobal.org on your website or on your screen. Click on that link, aosglobal.org, or go on our bio. You understand? You will see travel small small to Canada package. Fill the form. There's a form that is there. Fill the form. Once you fill the form, we are going to reach out to you. Our team members, which it may not be me that will reach out to you. You understand? One of our team members will reach out to you. You understand? And through Kesia Immigration and Settlement Services, they are going to also assist you, whether be it for your study permit, for your work permit, for your visitor visa, for your asylum, for your permanent residency, any pathway at all you want them to actually work on for you, they will be able to assist you. So what we are saying in essence is we were talking about legal routes or legal pathways you can use to come to Canada. One of the legal ways to come to Canada is through the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. That was the pathway I used to come into Canada. It was the pathway. I paid money to provinces, I paid to the province of Ontario, I paid money to federal government of Canada. You understand, for my immigration. But I always tell people, because some people want the year payment. See, it depends on what you are willing to. It's either you are willing to pay with money or you are willing to pay with your body. You understand? It's either you are willing to pay for your immigration with your money, that is if you have it, or you are willing to pay with your body, and of course you have that one. You understand? So people that will help you free, you understand, when they collect your body, don't complain, you are the one that give it to them to use. You understand? But if you don't even have money, assuming you don't have money, just like in my own case, when I was working on my own immigration, even though I spent up to 6.7 million naira later on, I didn't have money. So instead of me complaining, there's no money, looking for just sponsorship, something that I not lost, I say, okay, how can I get money? And that is where we come in again. Because if you go on that website, aosglobal.org, we have educated people and we are continuously educating people. How can you make money online? One of the very easy ways I made money online was to refer people to these organizations. You understand that I work with, like Kesia Immigration and Settlement Services. There are some lawyers. You understand that all I just did was link people that want to work on their immigration to them. And once I link them and those people pay money, I get a commission from it. So you can work as an affiliate marketer. In fact, at A.O.S Global, we have our affiliate program where some people are actively, you understand, and it is not only for travel packages. We have affiliate marketers for our books. We have low content books we are selling online. You understand? Low ticket books we are selling online. For example, one of my books that is currently selling on Amazon is Funding Your Move Abroad. That book literally teaches you how to afford your own immigration, how to learn some skills, some in-demand skills. You understand? For instance, I'm teaching people currently how to run adverts on TikTok. People don't know that TikTok is the new, in fact, is the new. For instance, this travel small small to Canada package. I ran the advert for Kesia Immigration and Settlement Services on TikTok on two of our accounts on aosglobal.com. I mean AOS Global rather, and AOS Abroad. That, like, The advert we ran, it got 20,000 people within a month of November. 20,000 people actually filled that form. 20, they are literally reaching out. In fact, Kenya Immigration and Settlement Service, they had to employ a set of people to call people again, because now see that kind of skill basically. If you can learn how to run adverts for companies, for organizations online, you don't need certificate, you don't need diploma, you don't need degree for that one. If you can learn it, and I'm teaching people, if you go on that website aosglobal.org, once you fill the form of the challenge form, there's one place that says business launch and development. We can literally teach you how to do it. There's one of my online courses which is also on that website, aosglobal.org. Make money and migrate to Canada. That is an online course I am currently using to teach people. There are various skills. We have about 30 different skills that you are going to choose. These are some of the skills I myself used to make money in Nigeria, not one in Canada. I used it to make money in Nigeria. I remember there are some of our students, yes, because I'm a language teacher. I teach IELTS, I teach French. You understand? There are some of my students that when they came in to learn French, and they say, "Oh, this thing is not this is not easy. Oh, this is not kidding." Some people took IELTS. They say, "Okay, please, I don't have money again. How can I?" I say, "Okay, learn how to make money." And I showed them this online course. Do you understand? Some of them now, they are working with international organizations. They are working with students, international students in schools in the UK, in US. You don't even need to say, okay, no, I must come to Canada before I make money. You are still not serious. Ne? You understand? Some people are working with immigrants abroad. There are some students that are in Nigeria, just like people that are from Nigeria, that they just use student study visa to enter the UK. They did not know anything. They are not ready to study anything. You know, some of them will give you the assignment. Some of them they will tell you, okay, train me how to do research. Some of them will, you understand? That is if you are a few will like me. You understand? You can try to teach them how to do those things and earn money from it. Facebook marketplace, that's on Facebook marketplace. Some people are just going on Facebook and are not making money on Facebook, wasting their life away. Do you know that through Facebook marketplace you can earn money? I'm not talking about you doing content every day. You doing no, it's not content every day. Can you be selling materials? Can you be selling books online on Facebook? Can you be selling things on Amazon? For instance, I'm a publisher. I'm a Canadian publisher. I sell books on Amazon. You understand? Some of my book sales in Canada, in the UK, in the US. You understand? Can you sell those things? You understand? Can you build websites for people? I build websites for people. So some things you don't need you don't have excuse to say you're not making money online. You don't have excuse. You to say, okay, you don't have money to work on your immigration. You're not looking for job sponsorship that will not exploit your body. You don't have excuse. How can you start making use of some of those skills, learning some of those skills to, because see, immigration sef, you may, that is why most people get exploited, that's why most people get trafficked, they get sold to slavery, because you don't have any other thing useful or any other skill that is very much in demand of that. Once people tell me that we're talking to people and say, what can you do, which skills do you have, they say I can do anything. I already know that the person can do nothing. You can do nothing. When you say you can do anything, you are basically useless. It's just the truth. Because going you say, okay, yes, I can do bricklayer work, I can do all these things. Even if yes, Canadians need construction workers, but you need something that is special, a special skill. You understand? That not many people have. So that when you say, yes, I can do this, people are going to value you. You understand? Immigration will see you as someone that you are an asset. You understand? Canada will see you as someone that has something to offer. Because Canada are looking for people that have skills, high talent skills. There's artificial intelligence. Now, are you using, like, okay, I talked about TikTok adverts. One of the ways that we are making money, you understand? One of the ways that are making money basically is running adverts for companies. And these companies don't know that most of the adverts we are running is through artificial intelligence, it's through AI. It's true. It's not that I went to one school to go and learn how to do TikTok advertising or learn how to do. So can you also learn some of these things? Do you understand? So it is never you saying you never have money to work on it. It just shows that you are not industrious. You are not serious. You are just you are making excuse. You understand? The excuse that will make you broke and make you exploited. Let's leave that. So, Ontario, if you want to come to the province of Ontario in Canada, there are three brand new streams they say they are looking into. A priority healthcare stream, they are looking at an entrepreneur stream, and lastly, an exceptional talent stream. These are one of the streams that they want to introduce. And they said the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program is currently seeking feedback from stakeholders on the proposed approach. The province did not specify how it would intend to handle in progress applications under existing streams when implementing phase two. Now, what are we saying in essence? We were talking about people that want to come into Canada through Ontario. You understand? And we said there are two basic changes the Ontario government wants to do to their immigration to Canada. You understand? To permanent residency pathways. One of the things is that they want to cancel some programs and they want to introduce some new programs. One of the programs they want to remove is the new employer jobs offer stream. You understand? Now, the proposed new employer job offer stream, okay, they want to introduce this one. The proposed new employer job offer stream, it would include two separate pathways, one for occupations at the National Occupation Classification Training Education Experience and Responsibility tier 0, 1, 2, and 3 levels, and another is going to be centered on tier 4 and 5 occupations. Tier 0 and tier 3 pathway, or to tier 3 pathways. This pathway will target skilled workers and prioritize candidates already in Canada with advanced qualifications. And to qualify, applicants would need to meet minimum criteria in their three main areas: in their wage, in their work experience, and in their education. So these are for people that are already in Canada. If you are in Canada already as a student or you're in Canada as a temporary foreign worker, you can benefit from this. But let's assume you are not in Canada. They also have the job offer wage. You understand? The job offer would need to meet the median wage for that occupation in Ontario. Recent graduates of eligible Ontario institutions within the past 2 years may qualify with a job offer at the low wage level. Now, work experience. If you want to benefit from this new program, you say applicants will need to meet one of the following criteria: at least 6 months of work experience in Ontario in the job offer NOC with the same employer, or at least 2 years of experience in the job offer NOC within the past 5 years, or have a valid license in their occupation and be in good standing with the relevant regulatory body for regulated occupations. Now, look at this. This is very important. It is either you have work experience or you don't have work experience, but you have a license to actually practice in that occupation, and you will be able to actually get in through that. Now, education, another thing, another factor. They said applicants would also require a post-secondary credential unless they have 6 months of Ontario work experience in their job offer occupation with their job offer employer. Right? Now they said employer job offer tier 4 to 5 track. They said tier 4 to 5 track would support employers who rely on roles that typically require a high school diploma. That means a WAEC. If you have a WAEC, you qualify for this. You understand? Or the on-the-job training, but are facing persistent shortages, such as many frontline, service, manufacturing, and support occupations. Now, what are they saying in essence? Say, if you are working, if you have these key elements for this proposed track, you stand a very good chance. If you are eligible across all the tier 4 and 5 NOCs, that means maybe you are a mechanic, you are a carpenter, you are a plumber, you are things that doesn't require much of what they call it, degree. Now, all tier 4 and 5 occupations will be eligible with selection focused on occupations facing labor shortages. Now, targeted draws. The ministry could run draws based on labor market needs and program priorities, focusing on specific occupations or worker profiles. Now, minimum language requirements. Applicants would need to meet a minimum language standard. For example, a specialized Canadian language benchmark, CLB level, details to be set in regulation. And the work experience requirements. Applicants will be required to have at least 9 months of work experience in the job offer NOC with the same employer. Now that's for the job offer stream. And the proposal also notes two important flexibility. Now these flexibilities are for those who want to actually become permanent residents in Canada. One, a potential construction pathway that for construction trade workers, allowing them to qualify with the support of their union, even without having a permanent full-time job offer. So if you don't even have a full-time job offer, you can still get selected under construction if you are part of a particular union. You understand? And number two, regional or and sector targeting using the employer job offer stream to invite candidates by region, by occupation, and other criteria to address urgent employer needs, building on what recent efforts to run region-specific and occupation-specific jobs under the OIMP. So what are they saying in essence? Said if you are in some particular occupations, you stand a fair chance, like the construction we mentioned, or you are in some regions in Canada, in Ontario specifically, you can also stand a better chance. Now, phase two of the changes they want to do is the three new Ontario immigrant nominee program streams. They want to actually add three new programs to Ontario provincial nominee program. And you have to listen to this because then in the second phase of the redesign, Ontario would eliminate all its other existing streams, replacing them with three new streams. The priority healthcare stream. They said this stream would create a dedicated pathway for healthcare workers with a focus on those in regulated healthcare professions. Now they want people that are physicians, people that are surgeons, people that are technologists, medical lab technologists, people that have some license to show for it to come into the province through that. Now, one of the key proposed features include no job offer required. You are not going to require any job offer to actually come into Canada, especially for Ontario. Now, they say applicants with valid professional registration in a regulated healthcare profession could apply without a job offer. Now, this is huge. This is big time necessary. If you are in the healthcare right now and you are outside Canada, maybe like in Nigeria, in Africa, in Asia, and you have a license to practice in your home country, you may be benefiting from this. You may not need to get a job offer in Canada before you come into Ontario to actually work. With that, your license is just like teachers that have, you understand, TRCN. If you have the medical license from your country, you understand, you can benefit from this if it actually gets approved to actually use to bring people into the province of Ontario. Number two is support for new graduates. Recent graduates who are in their final stages of obtaining their license or registration with a regulated body may also be eligible. So if you are a student also and you are working on getting your license, you can also get eligible for this. So for those people that are maybe like 300 level, 400 level, 500 level, you understand, you may benefit from some of these things. So be mindful of these changes. If you want to learn more and you want us to actually educate you more about how this is going to affect you, you can click on the link aosglobal.org. And once you click on the link, go on our website, you'd see the Travel Small Small to Canada package. Fill the form. Once you fill the form, we're going to look into your application and see if you qualify for some of these new pathways that Canada is going to launch, especially Ontario will launch in the coming months. Now, or in the coming weeks. Entrepreneur Stream is the second program they said Ontario is going to introduce. They said Ontario would also introduce a redesigned Entrepreneur Stream as a pathway for newcomers who invest in the province, create jobs, and support regional economic development. I see some people already, you understand, filling the form of the Travel Small Small to Canada package. Ensure that once you fill the form, you click on the checkout, you put your name, email, and phone number. Because if you don't put that, we won't be able to reach out to you. So ensure you put that so that we can be able to see you. Now, they said the proposed stream replaces the previously closed entrepreneur stream. You know, they have closed entrepreneur stream for a while. You understand? But now they want to open it. So if you're a business person in Nigeria or in Canada or in Africa or in Asia, you can stand to benefit from this because this entrepreneur stream will target foreign nationals, people outside Canada, who either have established and are actively operating a new business in Ontario. Some may be looking, what do they mean? Let me give you an example. We have one of our clients, Mr. Yusuf, and this person has a business in Canada. In fact, he has had a business in Canada since last year. You understand? And he's not in Canada already. You understand? He's not in Canada already. In fact, his business is registered with Ontario Business Registry. We registered that business for him. You understand? His business, he was part of the people that we met that time. I said, oh, see, I'm still doing well in Nigeria, Jerry. Me too, I want to come to Canada because of my children, but I've not even started giving birth to children. It's still me and my wife. You understand? He's a young person, he's making money in the digital marketing space. I said, okay, let me just set up business in Canada. You understand? Let me just use that one to start first. He said, okay, they just know my name. They just have my name. Okay, I have my name in this. So he has a business, he has an agency in Canada, and that agency is currently making money for him in Canada, in UK, in US. You understand? Because he markets to them, and you understand, people give him contracts to actually work with. He's still in Nigeria. He was still just telling me just a few days ago that on this next year, he now wants to take immigration serious. Now, the benefit for this kind of person right now that has his business, he registered his business in Canada, and his business will be like one year. Yes, his business is 1 year old right now in Canada, and he has been making money. Of course, he's going to file his taxes and everything. You understand? But he's not yet in Canada. That's the beauty. But now they send people that have established and are actively operating a business, a new business in Ontario is operating that business in Ontario. If they stand a fair chance to get selected through this, or have purchased and are actively operating an existing Ontario business, a business succession. So if you are part of those that you can afford it, I always tell people, why go and collect or go and pay for one illegal job? Because for example, to even get a job, to pay for a job in Canada is illegal. You must not pay for getting a job in Canada. You understand? Because once the government know, it's not something they allow. But you can pay to buy an existing business. That's one of the things our top business consulting firm is doing, Roy Business Consultancy. That's what they are doing. Like literally, that is their business. So if you want to set up a business in Canada, we can actually assist to link you up and let them help you. So these are people that are buying businesses, small restaurants. You can buy a franchise. You understand? Like McDonald's franchise, you can buy little things. You understand? With $15,000, $20,000, 25, you can buy a business and you just set up. We will help you set up the business plan. We will help you set up. Once you have that thing, you have an existing Ontario business. You can use that to apply for immigration. And the beauty is, it is not only you that will come. In fact, your spouse can be your own manager or your director or your partner. You can have your spouse, you can have your children too if they are up to 18 to also be in the business doing the. So you are making money by entering the country. You are not just coming to the country like other people that will be looking for one job that not lost. You understand? There are some people that are starting up African restaurants. Can you start African restaurants in Canada? If even there's one person that we're reaching out that we're talking to right now that say, oh, he wants to collect cooperative meal, he wants to pay it. It's not that you have the money, it's paid. As I see, a business is something that if you do your findings, you research well, you understand, and you have experience from back home about it. It's not that you are just doing it as a loan shark, you don't know anything. You can actually make money. And I told you, I gave him a scenario of me. I said I spent 6.7 million naira, even though I didn't come through entrepreneurial stream, I came through skilled worker stream. But I spent 6.7 million naira in 2023 to work on my immigration. I said within 3 to 4 months of landing in Canada, I made that money and more. So if you even get cooperative and you have skill, you have something to you have experience in that line and you can actually thrive, you have done your research, you think that research again. You understand? Instead of coming to look for a job in Canada, you already have a business that is waiting for you. Number one. Number two, you just come and start up that business real strong. You focus on it, say, okay, oh, I want to give this thing my do or die attention. You understand? When other people are still looking for a job, 2 3 months, you are already cashing out. Some people don't know these things. You are already cashing out. You understand? You are already cashing out because you use that. That's one of the things we are talking to some of our, you understand, leads about how to set up businesses and start making money. Don't wait. Some people are done in it. You understand? You are dulling it. Let's just forget. It's not like Nigeria. There's no 24-hour light. There's 24-hour light here. It's not like Nigeria that you see someone exploiting you and saying, okay, close this shop. Oh, you have not paid this thing, this tax. You understand? I'll be this fine. There's nothing like that. I remember when I was in Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria, when I go and put billboard, one of my biggest mistakes in doing business in Nigeria. I go and get billboard. I think say, oh yes, I've been developing, I want people to know me, I want them to know A.O.S Academy. You know, big mistake. AFCON came, Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria. Kwasa came, and the beauty of these things is, yes, there are agencies for this, but when you now pay to someone, you say, okay, you have to pay the oga, you understand, you have to pay the, there was a lot of rubbish, a lot of monies that we cannot account for in business, a lot of issues we had in business. So it was just as if I was making money, but I was not people that did not own my business. They were not collecting the money from me. Seven different organizations, Ministry of Higher Education, all the one higher education and colleges, they also came. They said they want to. I said, wait, please, I am not a college of education. I am not a polytechnic. I am not a university. We are just a language school. They say yes, language school too must pay. I say oh boy, seven different ministries, ministry of one other ministry too came. They say they want to collect. They will not come because they know that you may want to object. You understand? They will not come with task force. You know, me, I'm just running a business now. It's not crime I commit now. You will see task force, you see police, you will not be on top say you wan collect the fine, you wan collect the, you understand, levy. You don dey bring. So I think at the point we just have to close down the facility. Shebi is because you see me, you say you want to collect money. Na no problem. When I'm running my language school online, no be see who go collect money that time. And ever since I stop that. In fact, at the point I left Ilorin for Lagos, but at the point I just say if you even now even set up in Lagos again, you don't know which way it too will come. And we still want to collect money from you. You don't know which bastard will come and say you guy, do your Canadian immigration there. That's why I started my immigration. Let me start immigration and go to a country that is saying that a country, and I've been doing business for 3 years in Canada. Apart from tax that I pay in a year, nobody again come for my business. Nobody. In fact, when I came into the country 2023, I set up one business. Last year 2024, I set up another business. This year again, I set up another three businesses that I'm running, and nobody has already come and say come and pay tithe. I mean, not tithe, come and pay levy, come and pay one rubbish thing that they will say, hey, you want to. There's nothing like that. So what we are saying is entrepreneur stream is one of the ways that you can use to come into Canada if you ja. If you not ja, if you go and dock it, put it on your own. So the last stream is the exceptional talent stream. There are a lot of people are coming into Canada too now, or who have the opportunity to come into Ontario specifically through. The proposed exceptional talent stream is designed to capture candidates whose contributions fall outside traditional employment or job offer pathways, but are nonetheless highly valuable to Ontario. It could or it would focus on individuals in areas such as academia, those that are lecturers, innovation, those that are innovators, inventors, science and technology. Are you into AI? Shogbari gone in AI, in artificial intelligence, do you have something to offer? You may be there. And creative sectors. Are you like an actor, actress? You can actually stand a very good opportunity of getting selected through that. So, do you have a proven achievement and recognition in your field? Have you done maybe like TEDx talk? Have you done maybe like Guinness World Record? Do you have Guinness World Record? Like all this Ida Ebasi, almost should be like hot cake. If Canada catch that kind of place, they will give us this anyhow. And may not qualify under the other OIMP stream. So examples of qualifying accomplishment could include significant academic publications or research contribution for those that know book, or a few way, those that are lecturers, professors, they can have them. Prestigious national and international awards. Some of you, there are some people that have Guinness World Records that they did not even know them. If you have these international awards, you can use it to apply for immigration to Canada. Some people don't know. If you want to apply, click on the link. Offers end this week though, because our Cyber Week offer is going to end this week. The 10% that I give people off is going to end this week. So take Action. Click on aosglobal.org. Fill the form there. Once you fill the form, when you check out, you will see name, email, and phone number. Put your name, email, and phone number there, and we'll be able to reach out to you and talk to you about your particular scenario. You understand? If you have international award, go Guinness World Record is international award. You can use that to work on your immigration. Okay, Brimo said, why didn't I get no response from you yet since I applied? So sorry, Brimo. Reach out to us, DM, and let us know the name you used to apply. We are so sorry. Just like I said in this live session, we had a massive amount of people that reached out that filled the form. 20,000 people reached out. 20,000 people filled the form. So, and we are calling people. So it has really been difficult to stay on track. In fact, we have to employ more people you understand, to keep on calling for us, and some of them are through training, some of them are going through their onboarding. We never knew that the response is going to be massive. So sorry about that. You can put your name on the DM and we'll try to reach out to you, you understand, exclusively. So sorry for the time it took us to respond to you. So sorry. All right, so also, do you have recognized groundbreaking innovations? If you have innovations, like this guy that is doing chess, what did they call that guy? That time that Massey first did the first challenge that he went to go and do chess. His notable artistic or creative works with wide recognition. He already has wide recognition. Is he coming to Canada already? If you know him, tell him. We want people like him to come to Canada. They will give him this anyhow. And it is not going to be only him. He and his family members, his spouse, his children. So this stream would evaluate candidates with a qualitative assessment of each person's contributions and their potential impact on Ontario's economic, social, and cultural life, rather than just relying solely on traditional points-based criteria. You understand? Okay, Brian said, okay, I will reach out to you. Thank you so much. We'll be expecting you. So the creation of this stream was telegraphed in previous comments made by the what? Ontario's immigration minister, David Picheny. So thank you so much everyone for joining and really appreciate you. This is already 10 o'clock here and I have to go because I have another meeting. I have another meeting with some of our stakeholders and partners. So I have to actually log off right now. But please, if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I know that every time we come on at least once every day, every week, at least once every week to talk about trending topics like this, trending issues, news articles that you can benefit from when it comes to Canadian immigration. So don't wait. Work on your immediately because there's opportunity. This week we are giving opportunity. The Cyber Week deal is available for those that want to get started in their immigration today. Don't waste time because some of these opportunities, like we're talking about Ontario, the province of Ontario now, the faster you get ready, the faster when they launch, you attack, you apply fast. But if you're gonna be gawking it, you're gonna be dulling. And just like we said, the travel small to Canada package, it allows you to pay little by little. You don't need to pay everything at once. You pay little by little to work on it. So it's not compulsory you have everything at once. It's little we can say, oh, if you don't take action, we can't force you. Nobody will force you to work on immigration. But if you know that you want to benefit from what immigration has in stock for you, act now when you still have the opportunity. Thank you, Ya Latif, for liking our live session on TikTok. So thank you so much, everyone, and do have a lovely day ahead. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as well. Bye for now, people.